dating for men. Dating for men is a very interesting topic. You are a married man.
Yeah.
Off the streets.
Thank you. Thank you.
Me, I'm still on the streets. Surviving. But how would you say modern dating has changed, I guess, from a man's point of view, from today and versus 20 years ago? And you can actually talk with success. So it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts.
20 years ago, like, you had to... What were the methods of dating 20 years ago? Looking over the web, like, what was it, Match.com?
Was that 20 years ago?
What, yeah, 2005 must have been in it, do you know what I mean? Or the cold approach, where you go out and you meet people by striking conversation.
Yeah, but in Indian culture, there's also introductions.
Oh, introductions, but you still have those. You still have those now. But obviously, the biggest difference is dating apps, and that gives you multiple different platforms to meet single ladies, which, in all honesty, I think makes life a whole lot easier.
Yeah, you've got social media as well. That's kind of turned into a great gateway for dating and communicating and finding.
Sliding into DMs.
Yeah.
So, do you ever slide into DMs?
Nah, I'm not that guy. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I just never really. I think maybe, obviously, when I was younger, you replied to girls' story,
Replying
but
to stories.
you do it. I only do it when I gauge that there's interest.
Yeah.
I don't go aimlessly kind of shooting.
Yeah.
You only slide when the slide is out for you to slide. Does that make sense? And the hole is open for you to land.
Okay. Cool.
But in terms of dating, I feel like the dating dynamic has not personally, but has just changed in general. I think if we look 20 years ago, or a bit longer, maybe 30, 40 years ago, when parents were getting married, I think people generally got together in the form of, I don't want to say a partnership, but it was like you kind of got together to build a life together, and you had that kind of mindset that we may not be in quote unquote love, but we're going to build something together and share a life together. Whereas now I think that the share of marriages, you would say, a lot more tailored towards love and connection, and this romanticized kind of idea of love.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely more at the forefront. I think of people getting together now versus previously, especially in Indian culture.
That's what I was going to say. I think that's mainly in Indian culture, obviously.
Indian culture.
Yeah. Because, yes, you used to have the introductions.
Yeah.
You used to have arranged marriages and so forth, where you would have a partner to build a life together and grow together.
Yeah.
Now, we are of a new generation where we look to find love marriages, and we have multiple different platforms to be able to do that as well.
Yeah.
Which is always really good.
Yeah, it is good that people are marrying for love, although it's questionable of how successful it is, because marriage rates are kind of at their lowest right now. But at the same time, I feel like the dynamic between man and woman has changed. I think going back to 20 or 30, 40 years ago, they kind of had that more traditional sense of man goes to work, takes care of the finances, woman maybe kind of takes care of the house, the kids, the kind of traditional sense. I think with the development of society and in the correct and good way as well, that women's rights and autonomy has increased over time, and now they are in the workforce, they are more financially independent, they are kind of, they are more, successful by themselves.
Yeah.
But they don't need to rely on a man. And I think that's a great thing that they've done. Yeah. I think the traditional kind of dynamic has obviously changed within dating, where women don't need that stability financially in a provider as such, because they can give that to themselves.
Yeah.
They are looking for more. And I don't know what you think. I think men have kind of stayed the same. They haven't really evolved in any way. You could say in the areas they lack, maybe socially and emotionally, where, that they could have more awareness and more development.
Yeah.
They've kind of stayed the same and even regressed to some degree, some men,
give an example of why men have regressed.
I think there's
How
more,
they-
I think
how
it's,
they
there's studies coming out that are showing women are becoming more educated than men, which is
Yep.
obviously good for them. But if less men are becoming educated, less men are going into the workforce, let's say more men are unemployed. So even from that financial sense of where they did used to provide, they're not providing in the same way.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of mean by regressing. So yeah, the traditional sense of a dynamic of relationship has really evolved over the last 20 to 30 years.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think at this moment in time, it is, firstly, I think dating is easier because, as we mentioned, you have many more options of how to meet people. The relationships, again, agree with the more love marriages, but that comes from the back of the going to all the different platforms of being able to find love. Thirdly, I wouldn't say men have regressed. I think they have become stagnant, and the ladies are more independent, more financially capable, and to be honest with you, I think actually it drives men on more because they want to find a girl. Say, for example, you want to marry a girl who is doing well for herself. That means actually you need to be on the same level as her as a minimum. So it should spur men on to do better.
I agree, but I don't think that the numbers are necessarily showing that.
Yeah.
We can go into that later. I guess there is a lot with social media, like social media, gender wars, gender content is very amplified now, and it is very polarizing.
Yeah.
On social media, men should do X, Y, Z, women should have X, Y, Z. You know, this kind of notion is very amplified on social media in terms of
having your set roles.
having your set roles, people having opinions, distorting. Like, is it not to say that it's right or wrong, but a lot of it is distorting people's.
So do you think that different genders should have set roles?
Do I think different genders? No, I think you should do what works best for you and your individual. But I think like the amplification of men should, if he's broke and he can't buy you X, Y, Z, or women need to be in the kitchen and they need to be cleaning up after me. Like, these views are just very much more apparent with social media, and they're very distorting people's views on dating. Yeah,
what a real relationship is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Views are definitely distorted due to social media, which maybe wasn't there 20, 30 years ago. People just get their head down. They didn't have the comparison of seeing this idealistic relationship on social media, the perfect house, the perfect family, the perfect home. He does this for me, he gives me princess treatment, all of these kind of like terms that are out there.
Yep.
Yeah, it has really changed, to be fair.
But it's a different world that we're living in now, isn't it? To what it is 20 years ago.
How has marriage itself changed? I guess from finding love, marriage itself has particularly changed. I guess we spoke about from finding a partnership to now finding love, especially in Indian culture. We've spoken about that. There's this idea of hypergamy. Have you heard of it?
No.
I don't want to say it's a social construct, but it is definitely a construct that has existed where women marry equal to them or above.
Women marry
equal to them above,
yep.
And men marry equal to them or below.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk about in a financial, like in a certain way, but it's kind of in a perceived value, in terms of, not perceived value, but in terms of, do you think you're on the same mating level as where you stand?
But how is this measured? On what characteristics is it measured? You say it's not in a financial way.
I think it's unconsciously. I think it's in an unconscious way. Because you wouldn't marry someone who's very, very below you, for example, right?
I have.
You wouldn't marry or date someone who's very much below you. You kind of mate with someone who's on a similar level to you.
Yeah, but that goes back to goals and ambitions throughout life.
Yeah.
It's about what we want to build and do as a couple together and how we want to grow it in the future. Obviously, if we want to have children, what kind of upbringing do we want them to have, and what can we provide for them? Obviously, if your goals aren't aligned, then you're not going to be that compatible, are you?
Yeah, sorry, I think I should have made it clear. I think about 34 years ago when women say need that financial stability from a man, they would look to someone who had that, who was maybe not above them, but they could provide that, let's say. So men can provide the financial stability so that they feel that they are safe and secured and looked after. But now women have increased their capabilities.
Yep.
So for them to have that same feeling, the level for them is now slightly higher, let's say.
Yes, no, but like 20, 30 years ago, people had their own gender-specific roles.
Yeah.
Like the men would go out and work and women would stay at home with the family. Now you live in a day and age that actually you probably need a 2-income household. Women have more ambition and drive and want to be able to go out and be independent and do whatever they want to do. And they are more than doing that. So obviously, if they're growing, they want a man who is of their level or even better. So
in a sense, hypergamy does exist, though. Like you said, they want a man who's on their same level or above. But if they've increased their value, they would want a man who's now above their baseline. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but because they've increased their baseline.
Yeah.
So obviously they're gonna increase their standard.
Yeah, but men aren't. So if men are staying stagnant, the pool of men that they now have access to is smaller. Does that make sense? From that hypergamy point of view.
The pool. Yes,
that's what I'm trying to get. The pool of men would obviously get smaller for them as they increase. If men aren't increasing,
they increase their value.
If men aren't increasing in the same way,
the
pool of men that they get access to
smaller,
is smaller. How has your experience been on dating apps? You found your wife obviously on a dating app, so you've had great success.
Yeah. I think dating apps are very good ways of meeting people, going on dates. I think one of the biggest rules I had is have a 1 week turnaround. You match someone, get a date in within that week, because there was so many times that conversation would go on too long, and then the conversation would die, interest would die, and there was no date.
Yeah.
So you're wasting time there. Getting on that first date, it gives you a realistic, more idea of the person that you're on a date with, and whether you could go forward or not.
I agree. But how would you, as a man, navigate that to make sure that you can kind of get a date in 1 week? Is there any like certain things that you would do? Any advice? Would it just be like being direct, communicating quite openly up front?
Well, obviously,
or just seeing how the conversation goes?
Seeing how the conversation flows.
Yeah.
Obviously, like the conversation's hi, fancy a date next week. That's not going to go well, is it?
Yeah.
Obviously, you need to read the situation and read the conversation. If the conversation's flowing, you should be like, what are you doing this weekend? What are you doing? XYZ, fancy meeting or for a drink?
Yeah.
Right? I would always meet up for drinks first. Then if the date's going well, I say, should fancy going and get some food after.
Yeah.
As always, that would all be my go-to date.
Any good shout out line, like first lines to use on dating apps? when you were in the game they used? Or did you try and make it like, or did you look at their profile to make it contextual to something that they would say?
I would make it contextual. For example, with my wife, she's a pharmacist. My shout line to her was, I was really into Breaking Bad at the time. I was watching Breaking Bad religiously. She was a pharmacist, so I was like, how about you steal all the drugs and I will sell them and we can run away like Bonnie and Clyde, on those kind of lines. Cheesy, but like
somehow worked on it.
Yeah, it worked. And then literally went on a date that week, and never looked back. But yeah, so yeah, that is mine. What about yours? Do you have any good chat lines?
I got one in mind.
Go on.
I think it's time to delete Google because the search is now over. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a very good one.
I see I get so many replies. Okay, so now you've matched, let's say, your wife or any girl on a dating app. You plan the first date, you got that turn around. Who pays for it? Does a man pay for the first date? What's your thoughts? I don't have different views on this.
Okay, cool. This should be quite interesting then.
I think should a man pay for the first date?
I use it again. Read the situation. If the date is going bad, and you know there's not going to be a second date, you split the bill.
Really?
Yeah.
What if at the end she's like, you just say to the waiter, "Can we go 50-50? Can you split it? Put it on two cards?" Like, you just make that executive decision.
But to be fair to him, like anytime, most of the time I've been on dates. Actually, I can't remember one where a girl has never said like, let's go. She's always said to me, let's go 50-50 or I'll pay.
Really?
Always, yeah. But then like, actually,
the girls you there are nice.
Like, I think that
they're generous.
But it's shouldn't be an expectation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's obviously I'm more than, if the date's gone well and I think there'll be a second date, I will be like, no, I'll get the bill. Do you understand? But if I know there's been a couple of dates I've been on, I was like, there's definitely, there's not going to be a second date here. And like, I might as well save myself a bit of money. Do you know what I mean? No, what I mean? That's just.
I mean, I hear it. I'm just more of the nature of like, it's a first date, regardless of what happens. If I've like, normally I would have planned it or something.
Yeah.
I'll just pay it regardless. Like, she's come out. If she's been like respectful, regardless of like, if you think there's a connection and there'll be like a second date, I'm just more like, you know what? She's come out. We're both putting time and effort, sure, but I'll just get it. It's nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
But I'll just get it like respectfully, like there's no connection. Cool, like you do you, I'll do me. But at least I know that.
It's very gentlemanly of you.
I think I just know, just like it's just for the first date, innit? At least.
Yeah. But like,
I think bare minimum first date, every man should pay.
Yeah, no. I've been in a couple of. I think there's only been 2 dates where I've not paid.
Unless she's very rude to you or very like.
Yes, like.
Unless like,
and like one of them was actually, I just sat there and it was like, I just felt like I was in an interview. She was like, basically says like, yeah, like, oh, I want to get married like within like the next like year or something. I was like, yeah, this is just too much for me. This,
yeah,
you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, this is not gonna go anywhere.
Fair,
right? I think actually might have been the only time actually.
It's weird, isn't it?
But yeah, like obviously, yeah, majority of the time.
I think just pay for the first day. It's not like obviously you're assuming that you're not going to like extortionate, like kind of like £300-400 dinner, let's say, like just a drink, whatever, little activity maybe. Just get the first date, be a gentleman, treat her nice.
Actually, no, one thing though, right? It's like on dates we go for drinks, right? Sometimes you have to go up to the bar. So would you always go up to the bar?
No, she can get around if you got one of the rounds and she got to the bar. But I'm just saying, like, if there's like, I don't know, you maybe get more of the rounds, or so it's not just weighted in one way.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, yeah, sure. If you're having like 6 rounds and yeah, let her have an opportunity to get 1 or 2. But if there's more rounds, then don't try to force it. Basically, don't try to force it. Like every single round, no, you can't get it. You can't get it. Like that's a bit.
Yeah. Like, that's a bit too.
Yeah, it's too much.
That's what I'm saying though. Like
That's too much.
like
Read the context of the situation. as
yeah,
well.
but like on dates I've been on, like the girls have like always been like, actually, no, let me go get around. Like, and
Is
like even if my first date with Bidgel, I actually turned up 15 minutes late, and she had a drink waiting there for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's sweet of her.
and
I heard you got really drunk on your first date.
I did get very drunk on my first date.
Surprised she wanted the second one.
Yeah, I got so drunk she ended up feeding me pizza. It was a very good date.
It's very romantic.
Yeah.
At least you can look back on it.
But no, it was actually a really nice first day, actually. We went to Bar Alba
Is that?
in Waterloo.
Okay.
It was a rooftop bar.
Did you plan this or did she plan?
I planned it. It was in the middle of December.
Outdoor.
It was like it was kind of covered.
Okay.
But yeah, so then we had a few drinks there. Then we went to Southwark.
Southwark.
Southwark. You know,
Southwark or Southwark?
Southwark,
Oh, okay. I don't know.
right? Is it Southwark or Southwark?
Southwark.
Well, the Christmas lights on by the Thames.
Okay.
All right. I'm pretty sure it's Southwark.
I think it's Southwark, but yeah.
All right, cool, yeah. All right. And had a few drinks there. Then, yeah, ended up going to, like,
Just drinking.
well, not drinking, but, like, we ended up just going to Pizza Express. And, like, yeah, I think I was just like I just had one too many, I did. But, yeah.
She's definitely a keeper, innit?
That's why I married her.
So I guess in the wider context, should men be the financial provider, do you think?
What do you mean financial provider? Pay for everything.
I guess you have to define what the financial provider is. Is it 110? Is it 70, more 70-30? But whilst you're dating and whilst boyfriend and girlfriend, should you be the one that is financially contributing more? And by how much? Or do you think it should be like generally 50-50? What's your opinion?
Don't really look into it too much, to be honest with you.
But if you're going out on a date for dinner with your girlfriend and she's never asking to pay offer the bill, if ever, like she's never like when it comes to bill time, she's just looking at you like she's not like.
Then like it's
Oh, well,
for me. Then I wouldn't.
You would end it.
I don't think that would be the right girl for me.
Okay.
Do you understand? If like, yeah, I don't, because I just don't. Oh, yeah, like it's probably the expectation of you to pay for everything and not even to offer. I think that's just kind of.
But let's say you just have the
rude.
money, like in a, like say if money wasn't an issue, would you still have that kind of?
Yeah, still like.
Is it the principle?
Principle.
Is it the principle of her being courteous enough to offer?
Yes, exactly.
Is that what it is?
Be courteous enough to offer.
Yeah.
Like it's just about that person being respectful to you.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And not just demanding from you to pay.
The expectation.
Expectation.
But a lot of women in today's society do have that expectation.
Well, it depends what kind of relationship you're after and what type of girl you want, right? Like every man is different and they have different what's the word I'm looking for? Everybody has different kind of expectations, criteria they want from a partner, and So yeah, it's
That relationship can have that if they want it
Yeah,
to basically have it.
yeah.
But for you,
There's no wrong answer.
you think,
It wouldn't be for me.
yeah, obviously you're not like pocket watching and like keeping track of every expense, but generally a good balance of 50-50.
Yeah. Well, it's just.
Or do you think the man should lead a bit with their finances to be like, yeah, I'm kind of, there should be some like
Yeah.
kind of not authority, but like I can provide
Yeah, like
this. You
for
think
example, like when it depends how deep you are into a relationship as well.
Yeah, of
Do you know what I mean? So like
you don't give a girlfriend wife benefits,
exactly,
and if you don't see her as a wife,
exactly.
this is the number one rule
Yeah, you don't
to
give,
take away. A girl you don't see as a wife, don't give her wife benefits. Don't treat a woman with wife benefits that you don't see a future with.
yeah.
If you see a girl,
wife benefits.
if you see a girl and you're dating someone, a girl, boyfriend, and you're on the same page online, like, this is my wife, like, then yeah, sure, do it.
Yeah.
But don't start like dating a girl within 1 week, start booking holidays, paying for XYZ,
Flying
paying for
around
and
to
flying and trying to fly
Marbella,
and trying to be like, I'm
XYZ.
the guy. If you've got the money, I guess, and that's just how you live, then sure. But I'm talking about that the everyday and average person probably doesn't have that disposable income to be doing that.
Yeah, that's
the same
that's the
time.
other thing. You don't want to give a false pretense of who you are. I would hate to be like paying for everything at the start, and then deeper you could go on to the relationship.
You can't sustain
I
it.
can't actually sustain this.
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Right. Then she's gonna be like, this guy promised me everything at the start, but actually it was all false pretenses. What am I doing here?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're not being fair to her, and you're not being true to yourself, are you?
Yeah, I hear that. I grew up in a household where my mum was the breadwinner in a financial sense. So for me, it's more like, and I don't think that was the best optimal setup from what I've seen, but my experience is just limited to what I've seen. But from that, I feel a man should strive to be some sort of provider and breadwinner. Not to say it should be 100-0, but they should have stability to be relied upon, and give a woman the option that she doesn't need to like fight and compete to be the provider for the household. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There are very great qualities in women that they have, like the kind of nurturing, the caring side, which, you know, they can offer, for example, with looking after children naturally, given that they have that maternal instinct, where you may want them to lean into that versus having them at a heavy, stressful job during the early years of your child that you have to cover, for example.
Yep.
You don't want one person who can provide a lot in different areas of the relationship to be burdened by the financial stresses of life. Whereas men, I think we have energy. We want to have a purpose. We want to provide. We want to work hard. We want to kind of engage in those things, I feel, in the world.
But I think that's a bit unfair,
What do you mean?
because sometimes like women want to go out there and actually.
No, I'm not saying women to not go do that. I'm saying, from what I've seen, making a woman have the burden of being the financial responsible
Yes, okay, I'm with you.
is a very difficult situation. And when they have, like I said, have great qualities from a maternal, like we are not, I don't know, as men, we're not, we
But like you should have first of all, you should see yourself as a team, right?
Yeah.
Say, like, touch wood, if I lost my job, I would lean on Vigil for to like for bills and XYZ, and obviously when we plan to have kids and so forth, right? The financial burden will fall on me, so I kind of need to make sure I'm at a point where I am able to provide both. Like, and we're living within our means as well. I think it's very important to live within your means as well. Don't try to afford things that you can't afford. Just kind of maybe stress test and think, oh, if something goes wrong, we'll be able to sustain this lifestyle.
Yeah.
But again, we are a team, and at the end of the day, we save a pot together. Obviously, we both have our individual savings as well, and like
Teamwork makes the dream work.
exactly.
What's your go-to first date?
Rooftop bar.
Rooftop bar. That's it.
Rooftop bar.
What if she doesn't drink? You just don't match. You just don't go on a date.
Yeah. Fair. No. Oh, okay. Firstly, a rooftop bar boundary. I obviously when I was dating, I used to live in London, so Boundary Rooftop would be the place. Then obviously start off with drinks, then you follow on food depending on whether the date was going well. So you had a good dinerama around the corner from Boundary Rooftop,
Yeah.
nice little spot. Or Paddington, Pagoda in Paddington. Go for a little walk around Little Venice. King's Cross as well, got a nice few spots, nice few spots in King's Cross.
Yeah. There's a lot of things to do in London. I think, going for I wouldn't go how you went on your first date where I'm hammered, but going for one or two, get a bit sociable, then have a nice restaurant booked for nothing too crazy and expensive, just like nice food that you both like, can see how it is over a meal. I think once you start doing things like having a meal together, it kind of gets a bit more, not personal, but like you're out in a social environment, you see like kind of how things are, like how it would be.
It depends like on what kind of interests you have as well. I like to go out for a drink.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but that's you gauged that before, right?
yeah,
You're not gonna go on a date with someone who doesn't drink because your interest is in drinking. Like for me, if I'm to go on a date, I'll go with someone who enjoys food because I enjoy food. And I would gauge that, and I'll be like, but obviously you want to make sure that you're both aligned before going on that first date in those ways. Like, you'll probably be like, oh, I'm gonna book this and this. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Kind of like you would. Yeah. Check.
No, your question was, what is your go-to first date? I was my go-to first date. Do you know what I mean? And
but there is context to it as well.
Yeah, but like, yes, yeah. I think you got a break clause in go out for a few drinks first. If the date's not going well,
Oh yeah.
you call it there, and you call it a day. Then if you want to extend, you can extend.
Yeah, I don't think I've never really been in that scenario, so it's kind of hard for me to gauge.
So you go straight for dinner.
Yeah, when I've been on dates, it's kind of always dinner's always kind of been lined up. I get what you're saying.
It's too formal.
I get what. I guess I'm of the sense where I believe my decision making process is good enough that we can have a drink and dinner. Does that make sense? Like on the first date, it won't be that bad that it just like, oh, I don't even want to. I just want to get out of here.
I
know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think maybe,
especially so within the first hour of meeting this person, right, you're basically gonna be just sat like
eating food.
But
I enjoy food. I enjoy experiences. I enjoy going to restaurants. Because for me,
I'm not saying I don't.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with it. That's why I like to see how someone is in a social environment. Like, are you gonna do a weird thing like slurp your food? At least I know within 30 seconds, like within that first date, I can't take you out in public because you eat with your mouth open. No, we're done.
Yeah, okay, fair.
It's like
for me, I think that's just like I don't mind leading on to food, but
I want to go for food first. I'm not saying food first. I don't know
what you're saying.
No, I said go for a drink and then get food.
That's what I literally what go-to is. I said rooftop bar. Then if it's going well, I have a break clause.
And I said the same. I said, but you have. I don't. I don't have a break clause. I just have a continuation.
Oh, you have a continuation.
Yeah.
So if,
I was like-
if it's going bad, you'll go for dinner.
I'm like, at least, yeah,
You're gonna be eating, yeah.
yeah. At least my belly gets filled.
Okay. Cool.
At least I got a full belly at the end of it. At least, like, you know what? I'm full. I go home, full belly, go sleep.
Okay. Cool. No, fair enough.
Part 1, part 2.
Yeah. No, I'll be alright.
Any first date tips for men that you would like to give as a married man?
First aid tips. Again, and I think we kind of covered a lot of those points. To be honest, here, be true to yourself. Don't pretend to be something that you're not, because later on in the line you're going to get found out, and it's not going to end well,
Yeah.
right? And just remember, dating is meant to be fun. Enjoy the process. Enjoy going out on dates. Like if you want to go to this different bar that you want to check out, it's a perfect excuse to take a date.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, I think that's my biggest advice. If you're on dating sites, try and get a first date in within a week. Otherwise, I found that conversation fizzles out. What about you?
I have 3 bare minimum tips on a first date. Plan. Be the one to initiate and plan whatever you're doing. Like, plan something. Pay, as we've already discussed before. Pay for the first date. She's come out with you. And the last one is just make sure she gets home, like, to her residence safely. And that's not saying you need to pay for an Uber or drop her home. It's just be like, oh, hey, did you get back all right? Regardless of how it goes, just make sure she got home, all good. If it can lead to something else, it does. If it doesn't, then so forth. Like, it doesn't. And the other things are just like, be confident, like you said, dress well, groom yourself.
Smell nice.
Yeah,
Shower.
groom yourself. Yeah, shower, get a fresh haircut, hygiene, kind of oral hygiene. You smell well, be confident, and just try be authentically yourself. It's easy to say women love a guy who's funny, but you can't make it performative. Like, just be yourself. And if your humor is the type of humor she likes, then, that's a good thing as well. But, just authentically show yourself from the beginning.
Yeah.
Is what I'd say. And be a gentleman. Always be a gentleman. No matter if it's a good date or bad date, carry yourself how you would be proud of carrying yourself.
Yeah. That's fair.
I guess a debatable question is it easier for men to get laid in the bedroom now? What's funny?
I don't know how on topic that is really,
Why?
because we're talking about dating
Yeah.
to
Is it harder?
getting laid.
Yeah. I'm not saying that the goal of dating is to get laid, but a lot of men and a lot of women want to have some action at the end of it.
Yeah.
So is it harder for men to get laid?
Out of what context?
Just in the dating world.
In the dating world between
Yeah.
men and women.
Is it harder now for men to get laid than it was maybe 15 years ago, 10, 20 years ago? I think there's some interesting statistics around this, which I saw on another podcast, and also, it was on Google as well. So the number of men reporting no sex in the last year, aged between 18 and 30, has tripled between 2010 to 2020. So in 2010, the number of men that weren't having any sexual activity within the last year was 10%. Now it was tripled to 30%.
Okay, so...
And women's has increased slightly as well during that period, but no way in the same proportion as men.
Okay,
And the main
who
thing,
carried out these polls?
it was a study that was done.
This is a study by who?
I don't know the exact study. It was on the Chris Williamson podcast,
Yeah.
Modern Wisdom, and he's a very reputable guy who has guests on. So I'm going to take it that, this is, been fact checked. But the interesting thing about this was that when dating apps were introduced, I think when Tinder was first introduced, this is when the noticeable spike takes place. So going back to the question of when the introduction of dating apps, there's been an increase of men not having sex, which is an interesting.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's what we touched upon earlier, because dating apps are basically, firstly, dating apps are basically based off visual attraction, and the most visually attractive men will get put to the front of the queue.
Yep.
Essentially, the average looking man will have a much harder time to have success on dating apps. And therefore, when they don't have success on dating apps, they will go through a pathway of perhaps not becoming an incel as such, but losing interest in women, losing interest in dating. They will become more radicalized with their viewpoints that they're just not interested in engaging with women and having sex because they're just not getting any success. And then the top 10 to 20% of men are getting the majority of the women, because visually on the apps they come across as more attractive.
Okay, cool. So
that is my
basically, and okay, so you're trying to say now these guys aren't getting matches, basically.
Yes, the average man is not getting picked by women.
Okay, then if you look back 20, 30 years ago, how would the kind of conversation
in
develop?
person?
In person, yes. But if the woman didn't find the man attractive at that point, would she?
No, because now you have to, let's say, to get a first date with a woman now, you have to go through this app process, right? 20 years ago, you could just cold approach her in the moment. You may be on average attractiveness, but you could be funny. Your personality, your charm could instantly instigate something. Also with dating apps, you have this idea of, is the grass greener on the other side, because there's such a pool of options. When you're meeting in person, that probably isn't there as much, I would like to think.
Okay, I don't think it's the dating apps as much. I think it's social media.
Social media is making more sexless men.
Yes.
In what way?
Because people have got more information and more, they see other people and different lives a lot more than they did previously. So 20, 30 years ago, you didn't have social media, right? You wouldn't know who, the only celebrities you would see is on like TV.
Yeah.
And how other people live is on TV. Now you're kind of surrounded by everything. And people are kind of people want that, they see it, they want it. Hence, if they don't see that in a man, they don't desire it, and hence people are getting less matches.
So women's standards have increased due to social media.
Yes.
Because the average man doesn't meet them.
Yes. That's what I think. Would you concur, or?
Yeah, I can see part of that. I can see social media distorting people's standardized views. It's probably contributing. I think as well with social media now, men can feel like they have the idea of a woman with things like OnlyFans, pornography being increased. They don't need to go talk to women to say have sex, because they can just get it online, in a sense.
That is another thing.
That drive to go get sex in person has been removed, because your brain doesn't know the difference between the experience of watching it online through getting it in person.
Yep.
Really. And that has probably played a contributory factor to women not getting approached in person, because men don't need to go and engage with a woman when they can do it online.
Yeah.
They can speak with a woman online.
Yeah, that is very true. So what puts you off a girl?
What puts me off?
Puts you off.
Like,
what are your biggest icks?
I don't like the word icks, firstly. So the word ick is a bit of an ick, but I will give the things that puts me off.
Go on then.
First one is no health or exercise considerations in her life.
Yep.
Like no physical movement. I'm not talking about, you need to be a bodybuilder. I'm talking about like even just wanting to go for a walk, or doing some sort of routine of like going to yoga, like even doing yoga in your bedroom 2-3 times a week. A bad diet, smoking, excessive drinking, drugs, those things for me are a
big no-no.
big no-no. The other part contributing to that is the lack of life skills and routine.
So when you say life skills,
I'm talking about life, like I've lived out by myself. I can cook for myself. I can clean. I can, take care of myself. If I just see someone just lacks life skills in terms of that base, like, why would I share my life with someone who's still a baby?
yeah,
They haven't developed. They don't know how to budget their money. They don't know how to clean up after themselves. They don't know how to. And sure, we can learn certain things along the way together because that's the whole point of life. But I haven't worked on myself in certain ways to hold someone's hand,
yeah,
if that makes sense. Even like a basic routine, like taking care of yourself, waking and sleeping at respectable times. If you're, going to sleep at 2 a.m. and having to be up at 6 a.m., like, and you're
There's
like,
no
okay,
routine in
there's
your
no routine. Like, I like a routine. This is how I live. Other things, addicted to doom scrolling, waking up first thing in the morning and you're scrolling and then getting frustrated at the internet and things going on in the world. Like, you're just creating problems for yourself.
Yep.
I think there's a big, like, turn off. Like, if someone's screen time is like, I don't know, 5-6 hours, like, that is a big screen. That is a big turn off for me. Other one is hygiene and cleanliness.
Yeah,
Just like
pretty standard,
oral, showering, physical. Like, I like being a clean person, and if you're not matching that, then I think I'm just going to be kind of turned off.
yeah, makes sense.
And the other one is women who haven't processed their encounters in life, and it's particularly with men. So there's women, they say, oh, I hate all men, or all men are the same. You are just, what's the word? Emotionally immature.
Yep.
Women who say, I hate all men, women who say all men are the same, you are emotionally immature because you are taking your limited experiences and projecting it to all. I can't be, as I'm going older, I can't be around women who are like that. There are good people, there are bad women. There are good people and bad people. There are people going to treat you well, and there are people going to treat you bad. But you limiting your experiences to say the whole generalizing is like, it's just that it just puts me off now. How about yourself? What's your icks or biggest turnoffs that you come up like?
Okay, so
Obviously, yeah, your marriage is different, but what's the one that or non-negotiables?
So basically, how you speak. So, I was talking to this girl once, and she would send voice notes, right? And she would just speak very, very, very gangster, like
what?
And it's very like I don't want to say charming, but yeah, it's very like gangster. I was like, yeah. After one voice, I was like, yeah, this is not. this is not.
Was it because who you thought she was and who she sounded like just didn't match?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, no, this is not the one. I remember I got a match on Hinge once, right? And the first message, I think it must have been Bumble, because obviously on Bumble you can, the girl has to message first.
Okay.
Right? It literally said, yo, you veg, with a question mark. And I read it and I was like, bro, how are you speaking to the potential love of your life like that? It's the first question you want to ask. Yo, you veg. Like, my response was, nah, I love bacon sandwiches. Bro, you can't. I was like, like that. Where do you think this conversation is gonna go? Where do you think it's gonna lead? Do you think you're gonna find? Firstly, I understand like being a vegetarian is part of people's kind of diets and so forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, I'm like, yeah.
She was getting straight to the point.
Straight to the point. But
yo,
like,
you veg.
But like, even like
In the shortest way possible.
like
Them like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
All right. Just like, I'm a vegetarian and it's a kind of a deal breaker for me. So
exactly.
I'd love to know, firstly, like, just to save up sort of time.
Are you a vegetarian?
Yeah.
Because I'm not. That's complete. But just ask. Oh, you veg. I'm just like, okay.
Maybe she was calling you a vegetable.
Yeah.
She was like, yo, you veg.
But yeah, no, I think those two are the biggest kind of.
For how women speak to you,
Yeah, but
your big six.
it's a representation of themselves, though.
how they carry themselves,
How they're carrying
a
themselves.
wider part.
Yeah, so yeah, so I think those are probably the that.
Would you agree with some of the ones I covered, or are they not important?
Yeah,
to you?
no.
Are they important to
They're important to me as well. Yeah.
you? Okay.
But yeah, I think those are two standout moments in my dating
Career.
career that kind of always flood back. I'm just like,
Yeah, they would haunt me.
yeah. But yeah, what can you do?
So say if you got a 10 out of 10, yeah? Let's just say you're a single guy, like, obviously you've got a 10 out of 10 already. So you're happy with your wife.
Was that it? Sorry.
Oh, I have to cut this. So say if you've got a, let's say if you meet a 10 out of 10, obviously let's say you're single and there's a girl, she's on theory a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. So paying, she's a 10.
Yeah, she's a 10.
Yeah.
But she's over at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she goes to the toilet and you go in there and there's skid marks. Where is she?
She's a 4.
Oh, 4?
4.
Yeah, you can't really say much to that, innit?
But you need more context to that.
What do you mean context?
What, it's a first date?
No, not first date. Like you've been dating. Like it can't. It's not the first date, but you've been dating for a bit.
If we date for a bit, she's come
over
out.
to chill. Like yeah, and she's like, I'm going to the toilet, and then you go into the toilet after, and like you think this girl's a 10. Like she is a 10 out of 10, and you go into the toilet after, and there's skin marks there.
There's like a toilet brush and everything. There's potential to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I'll give it a 4. What would you?
Like 3, bro. Like yeah, that's shitty. That's just shitty.
Yeah.
That's just
Literally.
Every time I go to the toilet and we're living together, I'm just gonna think and like, say if we're living together, I'm just gonna think skid marks.
Yeah.
That's nasty. That's so nasty.
Give me another one.
She's a 10, but when you sleep next to her every night, she snores with her mouth wide open. Some people don't mind that. Like, some people can handle it. Imagine seeing a girl that's like 10 out of 10 looks and she just, yeah. For me, it's like you're like a 5. It's like a 4 or 5. I can't see you in the, like, yeah. You're not.
I don't know. I think I need to give it because I sometimes snore.
Yeah, you snore, so.
You know what I mean? So I feel like I don't do it on purpose. So.
Yeah.
I can't be like that hypocritical about it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I'll give him a 7.
Not fair.
You know what I mean?
That's fair. Like you're not judging because you do it.
Yeah, I
yourself.
literally do. I can snore.
Yeah. I think there's a different stigma to men and women snoring.
Yeah.
However. Okay. She's a 10,
Yeah.
but she's got a heavy Birmingham accent.
Rather for Birmingham, any so.
There's some, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him a 10 still.
Yeah, you'll give it a 10.
I'll give it a 10.
Some accents are nice, don't get me wrong. Like some accents, but there's some like deep Birmingham accents. So I think like the worst ones, let's say I'm going the worst, like 6, 7, 6.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Could maybe tolerate.
Would you say I have a deep Birmingham accent?
No, not really. I think they could be worse than you. She's a 10, but she smokes a pack of 20 a day.
2.
2?
Pack of 20?
What? Okay, let's half it, a pack of 10.
Still 2. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like
She's a 10, but smokes a pack of 10 a day.
That's like having a cigarette every hour as well. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, is it?
Literally,
Is that normal? I don't smoke.
I don't know.
I thought people smoke a pack a day.
I think that's quite heavy. And you got to think, like, a cigarette every hour. If you're awake, what, 10, 12 hours?
True.
I,
What about 5 a day? Still a
I'm
two?
just not a big fan of smokers, to be honest with you.
Fair. She's a 10, but she wants to eat your ass the first time you have sex.
Nobody should be doing that. Nobody should be doing that.
She's willing. She's a willing eater. It don't mean you have to do it.
Yeah, I thought we try to keep this PG.
Last one, innit?
Yeah, no, nobody should be doing that. What were you?
So what's the ranking? 0?
I'll give it 2.
I'll give her a 7. 6, 7? I'm a clean guy.
I'm a clean guy.
Yeah. Don't know. She wants.
Okay. All right. Cool.
She on it. I respect her for the effort.
It's for trying.
Yeah, for trying.
Okay. Cool.
I might not let her, but the enthusiasm is what counts. I could give her 11, 12 to be fair.
You would let her, wouldn't you know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you got any?
Go on, I've got some for you.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Mine are a bit more.
Yeah, a bit boring.
Okay, so she's a 10, but she's not. She does OnlyFans. That's a typical one. Person, easy.
And like we're dating.
Yeah.
Like, are you talking? Is she doing like duo content with like another guy?
No,
Just herself.
just herself. And her subscription is $4.99 a month.
Is she a millionaire? Or has she got like no? Is she a millionaire?
She's got five subscribers, and one of them is you.
Hell?
Because you want to be that supportive boyfriend, innit?
No, she's like a 2, 3. 2, 3.
Okay, what if she's got like 1,000 subscribers? Does that increase?
Still 2, 3.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, like a 1, innit? Like
Yeah,
0.
degenerate. It's like degenerate.
Do you know what I mean? Anybody can see it for
Yeah,
$4.99. Do you know what I mean?
I think I was being too nice.
Yeah.
Or 1, 0.
Okay, she's a 10, but she's not on any socials.
You're 20, bro. You're 20.
So
You're a 10 and you're not on socials. I have 100% peace of mind. I don't have any man like trying to contact you. I don't have to worry about any picture you post, any ex trying to come back into your life. If you're a 10 and you're not on socials, you're a 20.
Nice answer.
You double that.
When I first started dating bitch, I wasn't on any socials.
You wasn't on any.
I wasn't on any socials. She tried to research me, couldn't find me anywhere.
So what did she rank you, a 20?
Yeah, she ranked me a 20. She's a 10, but has Velcro straps on her trainers.
You know what? There's some decent Prada strap trainers.
Okay, but they're the Prada ones.
They're what?
They are Diadora.
I was thinking of those. I was literally about to say that, but I didn't want to diss anyone who wears Diadora. What happened to your mate?
What was it?
Remember in your stag group chat? I don't think it was. I think it was the group chat you weren't in.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to be on.
I can't remember who it was, but one of your lads was showing off their trainers, and then Pinchy goes, "Oh, aren't they from like Sports Direct or one of the, or like Lonsdale or something?" He said something about some trainers, and then one of your boys goes, "Yeah, I rock them," and he showed a picture of them with them.
That's exactly what you had.
I'll try to find it.
I know exactly what a conversation that's from.
Yeah,
Basically,
he was in Ibiza or something.
in Ibiza, we made him dress up because he's like a PE teacher. So we made him dress up as like
Rookie.
Yeah, as an actual PE teacher with Lonsdale t-shirts and Lonsdale, full Lonsdale gear basically.
Well, she'll be. Yeah, if her swag is that dead, I'm kind of like 3, 4. I can't be seen out in public. Sorry.
She's a 10, but she raps in her spare time, and sometimes she'll spit a few bars when she's just chilling with you.
No, one. No, I can't have that. Sorry. That's not for me being a rapper.
And she disses you on the raps.
What about you?
Yeah, that's like a 0, isn't it? She doesn't. That's not for me, that isn't. All right, cool. Okay, shall we wrap it all there?